going live.
Sprechen the Dutch? Sprechen the Dutch on loading screens?
Hey, live.
So, do you think... Oh, Vala!
Oh, she knew we were going live.
As soon as we go live, Vala's like, okay, time for me to make noise.
Time
I need to come in, have a bit of a look, see what's going on here.
Yeah, she's watching the neighbors across the road.
So what do you think the loadings are going to be like on next gen?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, when I was watching you stream Max Payne the other day, what blew me away was like how quick it was. It was just instantaneous. Like your character dropped dead and you're already like back up. So for me, when I saw that, I thought that was very unnatural and something was off. So I thought that maybe next gen is going to be this.
You reckon?
But maybe because, they're pushing so much fidelity that it's not going to be that. Or maybe because it's so unnatural and weird that they'll actually put a loading screen just so, like, our brain is ready for it.
Oh, right, like you're reloading, like...
Yeah, and you're back in, it's like, oh, well... But like if they just put like a quick load screen, like 2 seconds, and then you're back in game, that transition makes more sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, we're just having a little chat amongst ourselves. Hi, Chris. Hi, Quang. Welcome back, guys. Good to see you again. We've got a lot of topics for you guys today. We're just talking about... I started streaming games. Casper here streams games all the time on his Game with Casper channel. Check it out. Does good reviews. I think I like the reviews.
The one review. Yeah.
The one review.
The one review, yes. And at the moment I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, but there's no Casper face in that one. I'm just,
Yes. Do you... Yeah, so no commentary. So one thing Casper came up with was that you can stream games with no commentary, and people apparently like that.
Yeah, I guess there's a following to it, but there's so limited in the sense that, like, if you do it well...
Yeah.
There's no way to build on that. It's like, why would you go to another channel?
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing.
With no commentary, it's the same game.
But I suppose you see my skill or the lack of. That's what you'll come to watching. But like when you watch a Let's Play, it's like, oh, you actually... It's like you're interacting with someone.
Yeah.
It's more of a human aspect to it.
Right, okay. Yeah. So you enjoy the actual person you're watching, yeah. Kong says, new Oculus headset coming out 15th September. Yes, I'll look into that. I'm probably not going to buy an Oculus. I'm still waiting for like that big jump. I don't know about you. You haven't really done much VR stuff, have you?
No, only at your place.
Yeah.
You have the... What VR do you have?
HTC Vive, the original
HTC
one.
Vive.
Like the first one, yeah.
So that was my like first proper experience of it here.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool with some
of the
games
that
you showed me.
But there's like none of the new versions are a big enough jump to justify spending a whole couple $1,000 to actually upgrade. I think there's nothing right now that has made a big enough leap for you to justify anybody who already has a VR headset that's connected to the computer to be actually like a reason to buy it. I mean, you have to be very hardcore. You might even be making videos about stuff like that. But,
I think it's intriguing. I think VR is cool and it's interesting and it's something else and it's a new level of immersion. But I wouldn't prefer that. If I'm gonna game, I like to be like in a couch, feel comfortable, and I like to know that there's a screen or a TV, and like that's enough immersion for me. I don't know if I'm old school. I don't know if I'm outdated. Yeah. But it works for me. I like it. I like to know that I'm watching a television and, gaming. And then I can walk away and grab some snacks or something just like that total immersion kind of just trips me out.
Oh, wow. Right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I don't know if you are aware, we usually try and chat a few minutes beforehand before we get into the show. But you know what? I think we should get into the show because we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot going on. So what have we got, Casper? What's the first topic we're going to talk about?
Well, the first up is something's got a short life cycle, or supposedly will do.
Early deaths. Yeah. The grave is near. We've got some confirmation on some freebies from Microsoft, which means they're doing the right thing, which they should have done years ago, and PC already has. And
also Microsoft discontinuing something, which would be a big plus for gamers if that's the case.
For those who are Columbo or Sherlock,
I should be able to work this out. Yeah.
We've got some news in regards to the basically that massive Twitter attack we found out who it was, and it was not Russia and it was not China. Surprise! We'll talk about that for a bit.
Wow.
And
Oh, something about Netflix. Great.
I said to Casper, I said, Casper, when we talk about topics, let's try and do some clickbaity stuff.
Yeah.
Let's say like some cheeky things that kind of mean the thing, but yeah, something about Netflix. Is good.
What could it be?
And we've got news about the Game Pass. And I think that I'm not going to shy away from this one. I think this is big news. So we're going to talk about the Game Pass from Microsoft. They've certainly been kicking some goals. Let's get into it. Let's get the intro going. Boom. Welcome back, everybody. So our first topic, PlayStation 5 may have a shorter life cycle than other and previous generations. Wow, that's huge news. What was it? What was it, 7 years before?
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at previously, you got the first one was about 6 years. The second one was also about 6 years. The third one was 7 years. And now we're also 7 years.
Wow.
With this one, with a mid-gen refresh as well. I think this article is talking about 5 years for the life cycle, and they have some predictions on how many sales they're going to get in the 5 years. It's making some sense now why they would do that. And maybe it's going to even shorten to like 4 or 3 moving forward.
Really?
That's what I'm thinking because the fact that backwards compatibility is going to be so much easier. Basically, these are just PCs.
Yeah, they're power PCs.
They're just PCs with like slapped on names and, different hardware. But I think what Xbox is showing us now that there's going to be new games releasing that will be on the Series X and then all the way down to their like lowest
budget tier,
weakest console. So if consoles are going to be doing that, they're basically just going to be PCs. I think programmers are going to be able to optimize and make it available for the whole spectrum.
Okay, so does
extent.
That mean the developers for these games are going to now have to develop for like 10 or 30 generations of devices over like a course of 10 years?
Oh, look, I don't know if it's that many. Look, I'm going to say maybe 3 at the most.
Okay.
If we have like 4-year life cycles for consoles, or maybe even then, okay, maybe 2, because like 3 seems excessive. But
right,
yeah,
okay.
I think maybe two generations at a time, but to an extent. But then also, PlayStation 5 is touting themselves, or they're advertising themselves as being like the next gen is the next gen, like, and all the exclusives that are coming out for it are strictly PS5. Like, there's not going to be anything for PS4. So
Sony's doing it differently.
Yeah,
they're going, this is the next generation. You want to be partying in this generation, you have to buy this device.
So the question is, will these guys budge eventually? Because, I mean, Xbox is going that route. Like, they're like, hey, you can play it on your fridge if you want to. Like,
Well, they did try with, was it PlayStation Plus or something, wasn't it? Or the subscription for games.
Yeah. Is it the PlayStation Now or is it
Now,
PlayStation Live or something like that? Yeah. You can play it stream it on your PC, right? Or play it on your PC.
There is some games you can stream, yeah.
Yeah, you can stream.
But see, that's the thing. I think it's interesting. Sony is going the old school way, where they release a device and then there's only device specific software or whatever it might be, games, right? And then comparably, Xbox is going the way of like what a PC is, where every time you have a PC, you can play anything or use anything, and old games, new games, like the re-release of Red Alert 1 and 2. I mean, was it 2? No, just 1, and Command and Conquer. That's fantastic that we can replay that, but we could also still play the old one if you run a bit of a DOS thing, whatever. I don't know. It seems odd that PlayStation, who's usually quite ahead of the game in regards to hardware, in regards to sort of technology and the way they sort of utilize the control, but they're quite conservative too. They're very conservative. Like Xbox has done a lot more stuff,
Yeah. I think PlayStation is like, oh, this worked for us, so
Yeah.
let's replicate it. Whereas like Xbox is like, nothing's worked for us. Let's just throw everything
Yeah.
against the wall and see what happens.
It's funny that is so the very two different companies doing things very differently.
Yeah.
And we've got a topic actually about specifically what makes Xbox a lot different and valuable to gamers versus what Sony's doing. So we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that next topic.
See, that's a good point, actually. I have some stuff to say about that already. Can I?
Yeah, go for it. All right.
Because, okay, so when you look at the PlayStation and
Are you
when
talking
have,
about the Game Pass?
oh no, sorry, the just with the whole generational thing and how they're tackling things
Okay,
differently,
yeah,
right? So when you're buying into the ecosystem of the PS5,
Yeah.
you have this expectation or you have this delivery to you that you have these visuals that are going to wow you. You know, you're coming in here and you want the latest and greatest and the best looking, and you're here to buy this quality.
Okay,
Like, you know,
right.
you're here to
Yep.
buy these diamonds, like let's say. Whereas like Xbox is like, hey, we just want you to be a part of it. Like, you know, budget doesn't really matter too much. Like,
They're more inclusive.
yeah, I feel like they're more inclusive, whereas like PS5 is going this premium route, this like Apple route in a way.
Oh, right.
That's the way
Yeah.
I see it, like with games, with gaming experiences, because it's like, oh, you know, I know it's gonna be an exclusive of PS5, then it's gonna be killer looking, it's gonna be awesome. But in Xbox, they really haven't showed us that at all. Are you having a look at
Well,
Amazon
yeah.
to see if we can, let's pre-order one.
We're just going to look at it and see if the prices are up, because one of the things that makes it premium, right, is the price, but it's not up
Yeah.
yet, and it's just sitting there as...
And they let us know beforehand that, you know, we're gonna give you guys a heads up, like when there will be a date for pre-orders, which they're
What's the date? 13th of August?
not we don't know yet. Like
It was 13th of August. They said...
that will be the next show. That's
Oh,
the
they're
next
still
big-
having another show.
a state of play. It's gonna be a state of play, and people are guessing that it's gonna be between the 5th and the 11th of August,
Yeah.
maybe the 13th. So
Okay.
so that's kind of
Yeah, sorry, Kwang. There will be no VR on Xbox. I think they're certainly pushing it as a service. Then you'd probably be better off doing VR on a PC anyway, with games that come from the Game Pass. That's good. That's going to be my view. I think the way. What did we work out last time we spoke? We were talking about if everybody pays $5, and how many Xbox owners are there right now?
40 odd million
So
for
if
this
I-
current gen.
So if I take 40 million, right? 40 is that 40 million? Yeah, times $5. Like, imagine that's a lot of millions.
Yeah, that's a lot of millions.
2 billion?
Well, 200 million.
200 million
Yeah,
per month
per month.
that you could be making from Game Pass.
Yeah, imagine how much Netflix is raking it in then, because they have like in the hundreds of millions of accounts.
Yes,
at
but-
like $10 each or something.
But their money. So this is the thing with Netflix, is a little bit different. So their money depends on growth. They don't make money from people who already signed up.
Why?
Because they've already consumption wise, I think this is what I read a little while back. So let's say you've signed up for Netflix, you're paying your month, but you as the new person, you as the old person will never be able to pay back what Netflix has spent to get you. The only way Netflix makes money, and the only way they do, is when a new person joins.
How does that work?
So so their statistic as like a company, their statistic works on new joiners. So their only growth is new joining, not how much time has passed on spending money.
Or is it only because they want to show to their shareholders the profit growth?
That's right. So what I'm saying is their value comes from their growth. If they stagnate, even if it's like constant,
Yeah.
it's kind of like they're failing.
Really?
Yeah.
But then like, you know,
Because that means they're not getting new customers, and they're not able to use the same content that they have already, that they've spent billions. They've spent more money on their content
right.
than they have on that the people have paid them. So the only thing is growth. Growth is the only the acquisition of new
Of new
customers.
clients
Yeah.
is the only way that they're going to grow their actual
That's right, and they also have churn. So churn is when people cancel.
right.
Because if you spend a year with them, it's only like what, $60?
Netflix?
Yeah, $15 a month.
Those 12 months, $180 a year or something. Yeah. Are you like, damn, I'm gonna cancel?
I'm spending a lot of money. $160 will never pay
Yeah, yeah.
back them, and you're more than likely to cancel within a 2-year period. So the only value they have is from getting more and more people.
Jesus. So they constantly have to wow you with new shows.
That's right.
So the content war.
Yeah, it's a content war.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't keep growing indefinitely.
Correct.
However, there is millions of people being born every day, and there's millions of people being brought out of poverty to be able to afford Netflix.
Yeah.
There is always going to be people who will want to consume content like this. It's not the housing market where it just bursts. There are lots of people who will be able to afford this because it's such a small commodity item.
Yeah.
And what did Jordan Peterson say? It was like 200,000 people a day are being lifted out of poverty in like third world countries.
Oh wow.
So it's incredible in that sense, but there will always be new people, and you can continuously grow if you're just adding content. But the amount of content you add, like let's say I spent $1 billion a year on my content, I'll never be able to make back $1 billion in revenue for that year unless more people join.
Yeah, that's right.
So
if you're putting this back into the business,
Yeah.
you've got the cycle. You need an expansion. You need content.
yes, that's right.
Yeah.
You'll be able to keep spending money if you have proven that you're growing all the time. If they start stagnating, nobody's going to put in money, and therefore they'll drop even more because people will be like, "Oh, I've watched everything or everything I'm in and interested in," and they'll cancel. The only reason I say that is because I used to work at a startup where the only thing that led us was growth, and it didn't matter how much money we spent as long as we were going up.
Right.
That was the thing.
Man, that model actually makes me think that it's quite flimsy. It's quite delicate.
It is very delicate.
Like Netflix is gonna just like drown under its own weight.
That's right. If you're not, it's like a leaky boat.
Yeah.
You've got a buck and you got to keep going.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a machine.
Insane.
It doesn't stop. And anyway, so back to Microsoft, right? So we did this calculation: 200 million. Is it 200 million?
Yeah, 200 million a month.
A month.
2.5 billion a year.
Yeah. So
It's
as long as they don't spend that much on game development, and they don't think they would, because how much did GTA 5 cost 1 billion to make, right?
No, like 200 something million, I think.
Oh, it made 1 billion.
Oh, made, right,
Made,
right.
so-
It made, yeah, but
so-
cost to make.
Yeah, so
right,
cost to make. So if each game that they put on this Game Pass, I guess we're moving into our next topic on that note.
Are we?
I guess we are.
Okay.
Let's talk about Game Pass, folks.
Game Pass.
If you say they make $200 million per month from Game Pass, and they
Yes.
put a game like, what's it called? What's that shooty tooty plasticky looking one we saw last time? Halo.
Plasticky? Oh, Halo, right. Plasticky looking game. Yeah.
Sorry.
It looked bad.
Graphics aren't that great. I got some news about that I read the other day. But if they put a game like that on and it brings people and it keeps people and then keep putting out the next one, put out another game, it's not going to cost them $200 million a month to make those games. It's going to cost them like $100 million for the whole year or $200 million for the whole year.
See, I wonder because
This is a perfect scenario, by the way.
yeah, the perfect scenario. So that's assuming everyone that has the Xbox, but there's also people that are on PC that have the Xbox Pass,
Like me.
So there's so there's extra individuals there. But like, don't they have to pay royalty rights to each and every single game developer that's on there? Which there is thousands of, isn't there?
Yes,
Hundreds
but remember that the value for them is to add their own first-party games in there where you don't have to pay those royalties.
Right.
They pay royalties, but they still make they don't have to put the upfront expense of making the game. They just pay the royalties for the people who put their game on their marketplace. And remember, they don't stay there for a long time. It's like Netflix. They move content off because they don't want to keep paying the royalties.
Yeah, because you got to pay like licensing rights, right?
Yeah,
to
that's
be like,
right.
all right, we're gonna pay you guys like 10 million a month to keep it on there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, oh, we don't want you there anymore.
That's right. As soon as they see the balance sheets, like going, we pay $1 million for these guys a month, but nobody's playing it.
Yeah, they'll look at the
stats.
exactly the stats to be like, well, only like 2,000 players a month are playing this. We're gonna remove this game.
And that's exactly how Netflix does it. They'll have a show, and they'll be like, okay, we pay $1 million for the show, but only 10,000 people are watching it per month. That's not enough. They have to have more than they're paying for it. People be subscribed and watching it. So the biggest hit recently on Netflix was the Avatar.
I thought you were gonna say like Tiger King, the guy with the mullet.
Yeah, but it's not rewatchable.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a-
I've never watched it.
a
It
one-off.
sounds horrible.
It's a one. I mean, it was.
Wait,
apparently it was
did you
great.
say Avatar?
Yeah,
Oh, the
that was the biggest hit they've had in the last 2 months.
on Netflix.
Yes,
The movie
the-
that's like
No.
everybody's
The
seen.
TV show.
Oh, not like Avatar with like the blue people on them.
Dude.
What this movie? It made millions of dollars.
The animated Avatar TV show, the anime.
Oh, really?
It was the biggest hit of Netflix
That's
in the
so
last 2
strange.
months.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. That is
I mean, we can
weird,
look it
man.
up, but
Yeah.
So Game Pass is big value for Microsoft, and they've gone, okay, we can't beat PlayStation in its exclusives, so let's do something that will bring in more people,
Yeah.
and even people who already have a PlayStation. I think that's the biggest thing.
Oh, which is why like Cuphead has released on PlayStation now,
Yeah.
which is interesting. So is Xbox gonna try to somehow make its venture onto PlayStation?
What other subscription do you have for watching?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got Amazon because of deliveries,
Mhm.
Netflix because of the content variety, and because they keep refreshing content, making it interesting. And Stan.
Yeah. So if you bought a PlayStation 5 and there were some games that you wanted to play
Yeah.
from Microsoft, would you consider purchasing the Game Pass?
See, this is weird for me. I don't know if I'm weird, but I like to just buy a game and then it's like, now I own it and I will probably want to come back to it. And if I don't, I'll like resell it. But I don't know. I don't know why I'm not sold by this model because the
Okay.
fear of like, the games will no longer be there. And it's like this level of nostalgia and collection that comes with gaming,
Yeah.
which is probably with some people with movies as well.
Okay, guys, can I ask you in the chat, would you prefer a physical game? I know this is a stupid question. Physical, or would you pay for a Game Pass? Because remember, physical games are going up in price now. They're going to be $70, $70 to $80.
yeah.
And so we have a Game Pass that's $5 to $10 to $15. Let's just,
Yeah.
probably
That's
go
the
up in
extreme,
price.
extreme side.
So it'll take you a year to pay for 2 games, basically.
Right.
Or a year and a bit for 2 games. I'm thinking they're still $60.
Yeah. Okay. So interesting. But see, Sony would never do that for their exclusives
No.
because those things are killers. Like you drop one of these bad boys and you get like 10 million sales. You get 5 to 10 million sales. I mean, look at Ghost of Tsushima stats. Like in the first
It's
4 or 5 days, it's sold like 4 or 5 million copies.
Beaten Last of Us 2.
Did it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Pretty
That
sure.
breaks my heart. I love
Does
that
it?
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Sales of Last of Us 2. So Last of Us sold over 4 million copies worldwide.
In the release weekend.
Yeah, how much?
That's like-
hang on. Sold over.
Sales in the
Okay, and how much did Thingy do?
I think it sold around that many. Have a look at Ghost of Tsushima. How many copies it sold?
So we'll share screen now.
Yeah. Just look at some stats.
Tsushima sales.
Ghost of Tsushima stats. We got anything?
2.4
Okay,
million
so
worldwide. And it's opening weekend.
Yeah. So
So it's half.
it's almost sold it twice as much. Yeah.
Why did I read that they sold more? I think it's because they've dropped. I think from what I read was that Ghost of Tsushima has surpassed now of how many Last of Us sold total, not in the first weekend, but in
Really?
total. Yeah.
That's insane if that's the case. I mean, because the reviews were glowing both from people and from the critics. Yeah.
Here we go. Breaks record. Why did it break record if it's not?
I don't know. Oh, look, Quang said it's not weird. Oh, thank you. Games like Flight Sim 2020 cost $100. I didn't know that. Wow, that's a bit of money.
So
Yeah.
I have Xbox Pass. I pay $5 a month, and I'm gonna play Flight Sim 2020. I might even stream it, but I promised people I was gonna stream all the Max Payne games. But I might stream this and this on the side.
Yeah, the flight simulator.
Yeah. Why would I pay $100?
Love to see you fly. Take my pad in the sky.
I reached out to Logitech a little while back, and I said, "Look, Flight Simulator's coming out. Can I request that you guys send me for 2 weeks one of those sets of flight sticks that they have, but like the proper ones, the ones that have all the buttons on the side,
like dashboard
and everything." And they're like,
that's so cool.
they just go, "Oh, we're really sorry. We don't do those review items. They're too expensive." I'm like,
I bet they are, right?
And I looked up the price.
Yeah.
Oh,
How much are
fuck
these
me.
like flight sim sticks?
They are so. Oh, and, sorry, hang on. Before we go into this,
Yes.
do you know the game Farming Simulator?
Yeah, I've heard of it. There's a simulator for everything
Yeah.
now, yeah.
But Logitech sells a simulator joystick for farming.
What does that look like? Is it like in the shape of like a pitchfork or something? Like,
Wait, I have to show you this. Hang on, look. So you got driving,
Yeah, that's-
space, flight,
that's fine. I'm used to these.
farm.
Wait, what farm? What's farm sim gear look like?
$500.
So it's like you're driving a tractor or something, right?
And just the heavy equipment side panel is $379, but like the total package is $499.
Damn.
This is Australian dollars, by the way. This is insane.
Yeah, that's a little bit of cash, eh? That's like the price of a console.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I've got a Tekken thing said today. What do you think of Starlink? I'm going to talk about it more in my Dirt Report tomorrow morning. But all I have
Is that a game?
No, so Starlink is Elon Musk's satellites. They recently released. There are thousands of them in the sky, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And some astronomer, an amateur astronomer, was taking a couple of photos of a comet passing by,
Yeah.
and all you could see is fucking satellites.
Shit,
you know.
gold.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, I'll talk about it in the Dirt Report. But now Amazon is spending $10 billion American dollars to put 4,000 of their own satellites in the sky.
4,000.
4,000.
that's-
Well, that's just the start.
Oh wow. You know, it's gonna get to a point where like you have one of those telescopes and you wanna look at the moon, it's like, yep, no, can't see it today, honey. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, like I'll be with my like grandkids or something.
Yeah.
We'll be sitting there like, Granddad, can you like show us a picture of like the moon? It's like, sure, like let's get the telescope out. And get the telescope out. It's like,
It's like, you know,
Granddad, all I can see is satellites. It's like, yeah, let me just get a blowing them up into the sky. It's like this little hole now. This is really clear.
like a split seconds before it gets. Does that? Whoa! What if it gets to a point where like the sun is covered by satellites?
I need to show you this then.
We have no-
Satellite,
we'll have no-
Daniel Lopez. I think Daniel Lopez is the.
We have transgressed so hard.
We're
here.
going really off topic here. Look,
Yeah.
this is it. These are all satellites, and like so they're passing through.
They're like
as in-
there's like a freeways, like multiple lanes on the highway.
Yeah.
So they're all flying in like simultaneously, like really fast.
Yeah, so they're covering like I guess what he's seeing here is
Yeah.
unfortunately the comet is coming in the same angle as like a blade, almost like an area of things passing through.
Wow.
They're really fast, by the way. These are streaks of them passing.
Oh yeah, because they orbit quite quickly
Yeah,
around
yeah,
the Earth.
yeah.
They get to maximum velocity and they
Yeah.
just keep orbiting. So putting more satellites into outer space is a very sensitive matter because it's like you have to like time it to like launch it in with the other ones, kind of like on the freeway when you're driving in.
That's what math is for.
All right, of course. That with the numbers.
So that they'll figure it out. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna get this. This is crazy. Like sometimes some people go on like go out to the farm or go out camping. And they say, "Oh my god, I went to sleep and slept above the stars."
Yes.
Because they can see the stars all of a sudden. Because
Yes.
there's so much light pollution in
The
city.
city, right?
So
Yeah.
imagine now they'll be out and be like, "I can see it of Elon Musk's satellites."
Yeah, that's so sad to think that all you see in the future is space trash.
Yeah.
Like when you look into the sky.
I'm spoiling a bit of the Dirt Report tomorrow, but I was talking about how, what if all the satellites like have little like lasers and shit, and they shoot each other to try and not hit each other? So imagine there's so much, and there's all these like battle bots up there. They're like destroying each other because they're in their way. So like corporate battles are going to be fought.
Battles in outer space. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, space wars. Oh my god, this is how Star Wars started. It was probably like McDonald's versus Apple in this case.
So Amazon's got satellites. Apple's going to have satellites. McDonald's going to have satellites. They're going to launch burgers into your mouth from space.
Yeah, you're like out in the desert. I could do with a meal right now.
Yeah, so there's no more Uber deliveries. There's only like a satellite Macca's delivery, and then you'll be like out in the desert, and there'll be like a little laser pointer like suddenly getting close to you, like little,
Yeah.
and then you're like, please step away, and so Thank you for ordering with McDonald's. Here's your
Yeah,
meal.
I was actually thinking to like shoot it into. But that's probably there might be some health hazards linked in with that.
Kwong, if you guys have a moment, go on the is it Internet Historian's channel? His latest video is literally about Musk's son.
Oh yes, right.
XA. You
And
watched it, right?
oh man, I lost it.
So good.
It was mostly talking about the whole
Toilet paper thing.
yeah that's been going on in 2020. I don't want to say it because Google might.
Yeah.
I mean YouTube might destroy you.
Yeah, the thing.
The thing that's still going on.
So we've really deviated. So we're gonna take one step back.
Right.
Farming
simulation.
very
Yes,
expensive.
very
Like you gotta really be into this stuff.
Wow.
You might as well farm. You'll make more money.
Yeah, this is so diehard. This is like I cool. I have respect for them to go into these lengths. So there must be a big market for this, or some sort of a market.
Well, there must be, but there's only one item, right? There's only like we've made the perfect thing. It's right there.
It's getting to the stage where like people are like simulating life in itself.
Well, that's I saw a video on YouTube the other day. It was this guy. He's like talking about his like computer setup, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." And I was like, "That looks weird." And he sort of zooms out, and it's in a truck.
Yeah.
So it's in his cabin in his truck, and then he's like, "And this is what I'll be playing." And it's like Europe Truck Simulator 2018 or whatever.
Right. He's like
He's a truck driver.
Yeah.
Who's playing Truck Simulator inside his truck.
Right. That's a truck section. That's so weird, man.
So,
oh, you know what? I was speaking to this guy at I went to the Palace Arcade in Vic Park, and he was telling me, "Oh, I was in Japan, and the big thing for them, like their simulator games, are to be like a train driver. That's like a really big thing for Japanese people. Yeah, they love just like simulating, just like driving like one of those bullet trains, or the public trains.
I've been on a bullet train.
Yeah, but I'm like, but isn't it just kind of like you just on train tracks and you just
there's more to it. there's a go lever,
and then there's
a stop lever.
Yeah. Is that like what most like linear storytelling games are like? But this is just like this is like the epitome of it.
When there's a corner coming up, you have to like slow down a little bit. But apparently the computer does everything for you. You just sit there and you're like, go.
Is that it?
Stop. Yeah, apparently. That's
and
apparently
these drivers get paid really good money, don't they?
So there's a lot of education you have to understand about the whole system. Like there's a lot of buttons. There's a control you don't turn.
Yeah.
But there's a lever to stop and go.
Yeah.
Right? You obviously have to like know when to like pull in and aim it correctly so all the doors open. So in Japan, each station isn't just like an open station. You have these flaps or these doors that open up. And then the doors of the train come in exactly between these two metal things to let you in.
Right.
You can't be near the track at all until these doors open up.
Okay.
So because they're so fast, like I was sitting there
at
a train station in, it was like 5 hours out of Tokyo, and I was coming back from the mountain. I was like, cool, I'm going to record the bullet train going really fast. By the time I saw the train and I got my phone out, it had already passed me. It was like
fiddling around with it.
I couldn't get it, and I was like, it sort of ran past. I was like, oh crap! So I couldn't even get the cool thing when people have these videos of these like trains passing them by.
They go really fast, don't they?
I think 250 k's an hour. So.
Really? I thought it was like 400 or something.
All right, deviation time. How fast
is a bullet train?
Bullet train.
You know what?
In Japan. Oh no, Germany was 250 k's.
Oh, right.
So I don't know. Japan's maybe fast. Oh, 320. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty fast. You know what makes me really sad though is the amount of suicides in Japan, especially in those trains. Like.
That's why those gates are there.
Yeah, and my mate was telling me, he was like, on a daily, like if you were on one of these trains, you'd have an announcement from the conductor and he'd be like, apologies, we have delays, like there has been an incident, and it's always like a person jumping onto the tracks.
Wow. That's really sad.
It's real crazy, man.
So Tokyo to the place I went to was somewhere in here. Oh, Nagano, yeah. Nagano. So it was nearby here. So that's a 5-hour car ride, right?
Yeah.
Nagano, Mayako, Jetsu, maybe it was somewhere here. Anyway, so it's a 5-hour car ride, and the train took 2.5 hours.
Whoa, so fast.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
You know, how far do you want to deviate?
It was the next step. Let's talk train tracks, guys.
So when I was in Japan,
Yeah.
we were going snowboard. I was going snowboarding. My wife was going skiing, and I had my snowboard bag. And we traveled from Japan to Singapore, and Singapore to Tokyo.
Yeah.
And we landed, and they lost my bag, my snowboard bag.
With your snowboard, right?
Yeah, and inside it had all our gear, our cold weather gear, everything for my wife to ski. We were going to rent her skis. And we go to the Japanese area to tell them that that's happening. And they were like, oh, yeah, no, yes, oh, sorry, you know, we've lost your bag and whatnot. And she just grabs like, what do you call it, like envelope. And it's got money in it, like Japanese yen. And I was like, what's going on? He's like,
about?
oh, so we'll try and deliver the bag to you the next day, but and we said, but we want to ski when we arrive.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, she said 2 days or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
She said, oh, but here's an envelope. It has money for you to buy like rental gear. And I was like, oh, yeah, but it's got like for me and my wife. So she grabs another envelope.
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
and my 3 children that are walking through the door as we speak. Yeah.
So I said, okay, she goes, oh, look, can you leave your phone number? I was like, oh, crap, I don't have a phone number that I can use in Japan.
Wow.
So anyway, the story goes, I got some SIM cards left in the phone number, and I got these 2 envelopes. Now, the total value of the envelopes was 300 Australian dollars.
Is that a lot?
Well, it cost about 100 Australian dollars to rent out everything for 1 day per person. So we kind of made $50 of it. But the next day, the weather was so crap, we didn't get to ski anyway.
Oh.
But
Profit.
what happened is the lady called me at really late at night. And she says, oh, hello, Patrick. Good news, your bag's arrived. I'm like, I've got all this money, this is great. And she goes, it's gonna be arriving to you in 5 hours. I was like, oh, great. Look at it, it's like 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, sorry, 5 hours? And she goes, yes, a gentleman will be driving. He doesn't speak any English. Can you meet him somewhere?
At 1 a.m.
I'm sorry, 5 hours. She's like, yes, that's how long it'll take to drive from Tokyo to your resort. I'm like, 5 hours. I think it was like 1:30 or 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
So I set my watch. First of all, the guy couldn't call me. I couldn't call him. I set my watch to wake me up at 1 a.m. I walked down about 1 kilometer down this massive mountain to this it was like an information center. Yeah. And I sat there in the freezing cold waiting for this guy I don't know if he's going to arrive. 30 minutes later, this little putt-putt truck arrives, right?
Wow.
And this other guy comes down. He's like, hey, mate. I'm like, hey, how you going? He's another Australian guy. Yeah. And he goes, oh, are you waiting for a guy to bring you some snowboards? I'm like, hell yeah, I am.
This is like one of those spy movies, like Mission Impossible, where it's like 2 a.m. out in the snow.
It was 2 a.m. We got me and this guy got both our boards, and we dragged them all up to the room.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
Game Pass.
Is
that started?
Oh no, we were looking at how much flight sticks cost. So
right. Yes. Yeah, we're eventually going to get there.
Okay, we're getting there, everybody. Everybody relax.
Flight sticks.
It's all good. So flight sticks are expensive, and I asked if I could try this out. But yeah, very expensive.
So the whole shebang, if you were to get everything, that's like a lot of money.
Look at the flight rudder panels, right?
Yeah.
There's a bit of technology that goes into making it so kind of like when you press this one goes up. So it's like...
Okay, yeah.
So it's a feedback system.
Yeah.
Then you've got an instrument panel with a bloody screen. And you got the throttle stick and whatnot. But I mean, if you were to get, you have to get at least the yoke system and the flight rudder. That's like 700, was it 300, $650?
$650, yeah.
And you probably don't need the flight instrument, but if you want to really get into
see everything that's happening.
So this is expensive. So anyway, they didn't want to send it to me, guys. Sorry. I'm sure if I had like 1 million subscribers, they'd be like, here, have it. They'll throw it at me. They'll even sponsor a video.
Yeah. Send you 10 of these if you're Linus. Wow, that's pretty intense, man.
Kwang asks for traveling in Japan. So yes, I do have a recommendation. I think it's called Mobi. Really good. I paid 60 Australian dollars for a month. And I know it seems expensive, but again, I had unlimited... I think I had 30 gigs of data or something like that. And I could just burn through it. It was great. So anyway, that's expensive.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
So where did we go? So we had
We had
Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Yes, so it's $5 for so it's $5 to play a $100 game because Flight Simulator is going to be really expensive from Microsoft.
Dude, that's gonna be so boss. Like, so yeah, for $5 a month to play like one of these games. That's really good.
You'll never, and that's what I'm saying about Netflix is you'll never be able to pay back the amount it costs them to have you.
Yeah.
They have to have like multiple people for them to even pay it back.
See, I wonder though, with these big budget games like these, how long are they on this Game Pass? Like, I don't know. I've never had one of these Game Passes myself.
That's a really good question.
Are they there for like life, basically, or for a set period of time? Because games come out so frequently nowadays, and so many big games, and you know, we don't have that much time in our lives unless we game like full time for like an occupation or something. And we miss out on a lot of these games. So the only way is to really purchase them, or in hopes that they're on Game Pass. That they're
Sorry, I'm just replying to somebody.
What's the question? What's mobile?
Kwang just asked what it wasn't Moby. Sorry, it's mobile. I've just messaged you there, mate. If you want to have a look.
Fascinating.
I don't look. I think it's really good, but I'm starting to feel like the pricing of games is going to go up to force you to buy this.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It's like, with the next gen being more expensive, Microsoft's got the answer. It's like, hey, we're doing something that you're not expecting, but we're going to steal all your consumers eventually.
Let's see how much it actually costs. Join Game Pass, and let's actually get the real pricing, because we keep saying $5, but might not be.
But is this going to be the war of quantity versus quality?
Oh, here you go. Look, $15 for a console plus gold plus the PC.
15. Whoa. See what now? Oh, that's actually all right.
That's pretty good. Hey,
yes.
Console is $10 and PC is $5. The reason PC is $5, I think it's a little bit less games. But you know, we talked about that we saw the preview of the Xbox game where the guys are fighting they're like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids game.
Oh yes, yeah.
I played that. I've got it on this computer right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually really cool. It's a first-person survival thing. I could not figure out anything, but I was punching some bugs. It's like Minecraft.
Yeah, with bugs.
With bugs.
There's bugs.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, it's really good. So
wow.
So $15 is what we're looking at, which is a subscription of Netflix.
Yeah, pretty much. How much do I pay for Netflix? $14, I think.
Yeah, $13.99.
Yeah.
Which went up recently because they've been losing money. Left, right, and center. Like if we go Netflix. Oh my god, we are so deviating.
Oh my god, Netflix
stock value. I think it is. What is this? I want to check.
Oh really? Oh, they're worth
none. Yeah, so if we say year to date, so
damn, they've been on this climb for.
They've been for a climb. They have to be on a climb. What happened back in? Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. But
that was the. I don't know.
No, it's probably the announcement of like new streaming services. That's
Really?
usually whenever there's a dip in Netflix, it means that there's new subscription service being announced.
But it's also during the time of the thing that's infecting a lot of people nowadays.
Is that
which is interesting. I think
it was March. I think it ramped up here. Look, I think it boosted the stock.
Yeah. I was gonna say like that boosted the stock a lot, which is probably what saved it, right? Just everybody being stuck indoors and buying Netflix, getting Netflix accounts.
Can't go outside. How much is Tesla?
Look how expensive Tesla's share price is.
So stupid, isn't it?
Jesus.
What was that? Did they announce something new? Or the truck?
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
It's weird how they've gone. Anyway, so let's move on to another topic. It's been apparently a Temper teen was charged over a massive Twitter attack from Florida. Of course, it's from Florida.
I don't even know.
It makes no sense. Like,
what happens?
So some people were saying that it's like a really secretive organization who did this hack to like steal like the messages of all these famous people. But what happened was
hack. To hack Twitter is the lamest hack in the world.
Well, the DMs are very sensitive, Casper.
Are they? What did Will Smith again say to 50 Cent? Yeah. I
was actually going to say, what did Will Smith say to a young lady who was chatting to him? That's probably more likely.
Blackmail.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
That was accidental.
what they did, because you don't know about
Yeah.
this. Right?
No.
You know nothing?
I know nothing.
Jon Snow.
It's not, yes, exactly, Jon Snow.
So they did this kid apparently, he
Yeah.
sent out a tweet as like Obama, Bill Gates, and a couple of other famous people saying, "Hey, I'm giving away Bitcoin. If you send me 1,000 Bitcoin or 1 Bitcoin or whatever it was, I'll send you back X amount of Bitcoin, double it or something like that." So heaps of people, enough people for him to make $160,000 worth of US in Bitcoin, sent him stuff to his little Bitcoin address.
That's so weird.
I know, he made $163,000 and now he's, well...
So many suckers in the world.
Yeah, like, I mean, okay. Bill Gates comes out and says, "Hey kids, you send me $1, I'll send you $2 back." What do you do?
I'll be like, bro, that's not Bill Gates.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right? But
yeah.
apparently there was enough stupid people to do that, and they sent...
This is just a variation or a version of the Nigerian prince who sent you that email and he's like, please send me your account details so I can lodge your hundreds and thousands of dollars into your account.
Have you seen the video of that comedian who started a conversation with one of those people?
No?
I wish we could
Start
watch it
a
on stream.
conversation.
Yeah, he started replaying. It was like
Okay.
like having a bit of a chat,
Having
like
a
back and
serious, yeah,
forth
to
video.
see what the computer will respond with.
But it's not a
Because
computer. It's
isn't it
people.
automated?
No, it's people. It's real
It's
people.
automated.
Yeah, Pat, imagine sending someone 1,000 Bitcoins is a
Bitcoins.
lot.
How
I was
much
thinking
is it?
0.1.
Wow, yeah, 1,000 Bitcoins, like...
Yeah. Okay. So
$1 million.
how far are we deviating again?
Okay, how much is a Bitcoin?
value?
Oh my god, 16 grand for a single Bitcoin.
You know, it used to be at like 20. Used to be. I don't know how long, but like a couple of years ago, wasn't it like 20? Yeah, 20. There you go.
Jeez. So like a
25. 25 Australian dollars.
God, what, like... You could get them for like... Damn.
And there was a news story a little while back about a guy who bought pizza with like 14 Bitcoins or something, or like point something Bitcoins. And then he was like, say, "Oh, I'm really cool. I'm like in the future, I'm paying with like digital currency, like
Yeah.
Pizza Hut or whatever it was."
And people were like, bro, you just paid $7,000 for your
It
pizza.
turned out to be like a couple of years later, like I don't know what year this is, or 2016. So by 2018, it was worth like $276,000. That pizza.
That pizza.
Yeah.
Bro, I hope that was a good pizza.
Oh god.
200 grand.
So, speaking of Netflix, we did have a topic about Netflix.
Hey, yeah.
Have you ever watched a movie or a TV show on Netflix that you just wished they could just hurry up with everything?
What, like Rick and Morty?
No, I don't mean like coming out and like...
Oh, you're not meaning release. You're meaning like just get to the point.
Yeah.
Is that... I don't know. I think the purpose of a TV show is to take you on the journey. It's like there is an ending. Yes,
Okay.
there is a, that's where we all get there. But then when you get to the ending, that's it. There's nothing there. So it's always the journey. That's the exciting part.
Okay, but there must be a movie or a TV show that you've watched and you're just watching going, "Oh, come on, just, yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, you feel very bad about this, but can we just keep going?" You never feel like that?
I don't know. Like, now that I come to think of it, like, maybe if I'm not invested in the story. Okay, if the story thinks that I'm like, just tell me who did it, who killed, Jeeves. Like, I just... But a lot of the time, I think I'm very careful with picking what I watch.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
That... You've just completely destroyed my argument.
Sorry, it just destroyed the hypothesis. Maybe the people in the chat can help us out here.
Okay, well, Joe Blog says, "I press skip 10 seconds button quite a lot in Mortal Engines." There is a lot of Japanese anime that has filler episodes. Even Avatar, I just recently finished. I love the show, by the way. Excellent show. Had filler episodes.
Okay.
And I was finding myself skipping. But in this generation of I want everything now, I think having the ability to speed up the movie or show is actually really good.
Speed it up.
Yes, because this is what's happening. Netflix is letting people watch things faster or slower with new playback speed controls. And it's what YouTube does. YouTube allows you to slow things down to 0.5, I think, and I think 1.5. So let's say there's a show, actually, True Detective. It's fantastic. Its atmosphere is great. Yes. But if I was rewatching it, I might just put it up to 1.5.
Really? I want to watch it like for what it is because I
And
feel
I'll slow it down on the bit when Thingy's at that apart with him in the apartment.
what apartment with the very nice
The
features,
I'll slow that down to
the nice
6.5.
aesthetics of the apartment. Yes,
The apartment's beautiful.
grand design. Yeah.
I love that show too, Grand Designs. Have
Oh,
you
no,
watched it much?
no,
It's every time I fly on a plane, I watch Grand Designs.
really?
Yeah, it's
Is that no
it's like a TV show about
redoing
renovations,
renovation,
people
right,
building
right.
something quite unique or something that hasn't been done
Yeah.
before, or a very difficult build.
Nice.
How much do you think 1.5 speed would save you on
See,
a 30-minute episode?
This is what I'm thinking though, but when you're watching this on like slow, when you have, because you have this function in YouTube already.
Yeah.
So when you watch it like at 0.5 or 0.75, it sounds like the people are drunk. But if you're watching it faster, it's like they're high on crack. So it's like you either do you want them to be like drunk or do you want them to be like on drugs? Like when you're watching it.
Oh, I think it's look. I find myself. I've only done it once on a YouTube video, but that's because I had it on the side on a second monitor and I was doing something else here, and I just
Yeah.
it was talking. I could understand it a little bit quicker. I just don't know about a show because a TV show with like action scenes, they're already fairly sped up. Like if you've got a fighting scene and it's in
Yeah.
cinematic 24 frames an hour.
Like if it's a Michael Bay movie, it's like I would need to slow that down because I don't know what's going on. It's so confusing. There's this flashing lights and it's so full on.
So let us know in the comments, guys, if
See, there's a lot of people, saying skipping intros. Yeah, I think this skip intro function is a godsend. I love it.
that button. Yeah.
Yes, because it's like, well, I'm watching the 700th episode. I think I know what the intro looks like by now. Let me just skip that.
There is one intro that I never skipped.
Okay, let me guess.
What's your TV show that you never skipped an intro?
Wow,
It's the same song every time, right? Sing song dance.
Rick and Morty? No.
Well, I only
Okay,
don't skip it because there's not enough Rick and Morty. So I'll watch the intro because there's just so little of it.
So little. Okay, it's a
Doesn't
TV
count.
show with people. It's real people.
Just to be real, it could be like a
it's not
Japanese
animated.
anime when they go like, or the slow one when they're like,
Oh, really? You don't skip that?
no, I'm just asking you.
Oh, right.
There's
You're
no
asking
show.
me.
I'm asking you.
Is there a show I haven't skipped?
Yes.
Oh, definitely True Detective.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Good. Cool.
yeah. I would say so. But there's other ones as well that I really like.
Yeah.
I think maybe even like Daredevil. I like
didn't
that.
skip
intro.
Daredevil?
Yeah, I think for the most part, or 90%
Okay.
of the part. Yeah, there's a few intros where I'm like, these are good intros,
Yeah.
like the music, and or like remember Luke Cage, how it had the cool jazzy
Yes.
beats. Yeah,
Luke Cage was good.
Luke Cage was
Yeah.
good with its.
Yeah. I never skipped Game of Thrones.
Oh, really? I skipped that.
Did you?
Because the intro's so long. It's like 5 minutes. It's like
but here's the thing, right?
yeah.
I like that intro because as soon as I start it, I go, okay, that's starting. Get the chips, get a drink, get a whiskey,
yeah.
sing along, and then when I sit down, I'm like ready, do 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 do.
And then that's so true. Actually, I used to go to the bathroom and get snacks as well. Like, oh, it's this 5-minute intro. I have time.
Because people don't realize this, but when you have TV shows on Netflix on demand without ads, there's not this sort of break when you go, oh, there's an ad. I can go to the loo and go get some snacks, or just look at my phone. Not that people have like my wife. Like I see my wife watching anything on TV, and she's just on her phone. And I'm like, do you want to like keep the TV on? Or she's like, no, I'm watching. I'm like, what literally happened just then? She goes, nothing. I'm like, yeah, well, actually nothing did happen because it's Arrow, but regardless.
You know what? I find myself being guilty of the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm
What
like,
does it?
I turn on a show and then there's like a brief moment of respite or something, or like characters are talking about like what kind of kebab they're gonna buy or something, and then that's the moment where I pick up my phone, and then like I feel like it's 2 minutes or whatever. I put it down and there's all these characters that are dead. I'm like, oh man, how long was I on my phone for? Like, what did I?
It's like starting the first episode of Game of Thrones, and then you like open up your phone and you look back, it's like Jon Snow's dead, and you're like, oh, the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Who's Jon Snow and why is he dead? Yeah.
Okay. think overall it is something that was bound to happen. People were asking for it for a while. I think there's a lot of people wondering what we're talking about. We're deviating.
Iceberg's like, what?
All right, let's move on to our next topic, and it's to do with Halo. So, not only is Microsoft throwing, I suppose, the Game Pass at people,
Right.
it's also removing
The
gold
pass or whatever it's called live.
and it's making multiplayer free.
Oh my god. PlayStation, get on that, people.
That is just mind blowing. Like, think about it this way: a lot of games die because people don't. Every time they want to play it, oh god, I haven't bought my Game Pass. I haven't played this in 6 months.
Yeah.
I haven't bought my membership, my gold, or whatever PlayStation one is, and so they don't play online. Like, I guess it's payment for the servers, but like most games die if nobody's on there. Like, nobody's playing the game multiplayer. There's no.
Unless the single player games, those never die.
No, that's right. But I'm just talking about multiplayer games.
Yeah, that's what makes me sad about games as a service, because they have a extended amount, like they have a limited amount of time. And it's like once it's over, that game ceases to exist. Like, it gets lost in time. Whereas like when you have like a really good, single player game, it's like there for all eternity to be experienced again.
And I agree with you. Like,
Yeah.
I've just been streaming Max Payne. Like, it's a single player game. I don't need to care about online. I needed to fix a lot of things to get it running on Windows 10, but that's a little bit separate. But yeah, you're right. I mean, what was the game that they canned completely? I think there's a couple of games that came out and they were basically like team games where you had to 5 people each side and you had to have a team to even have a game, and the community died and then just closed down the servers, and that was it. Yeah. You bought the game, but you couldn't play it.
Yeah, the servers are closed. So, whoa, what happens there as a consumer? It's like I purchase a product that doesn't operate. Does that mean you can return it to the store?
Well, that's what I think should happen.
Yeah.
But I think there's one thing that's a big difference. So you have 2 types of multiplayer games.
Yeah.
You have a multiplayer game that allows communities to have their own hosted servers.
Right.
Where they can spin up a server, load up the software, and run it themselves.
Yes.
That was like COD 4 Modern Warfare, right?
Right.
I was part of that community for a long time. I even had a server on my own with me and my clan would play. It was great. I paid, I think it was like $5 a month for it. But then there's games that are hosted by the provider of the game. So the developer.
They have their own servers. Right. Yeah, that's right.
And they don't allow other people access to that code, that code, because it's like, oh, it's our IP. You're not allowed it. Or we're going to host a service, make it really fair. There will be no cheating, blah, blah. They're still cheating.
Yeah, of course.
Like, all the time.
Yeah, it's just hosted by them.
Yeah.
And then when it goes down, it's over.
That's right. They'll just be like, it's not making money. See you later.
Yeah.
So people, and there's no way for anybody to develop their own little service to play a game that, they'd want to play. Those servers are dead and that game is dead. They literally killed it. And I find that those companies never think of the players there might be like 1,000 players and they go like, well, we're not going to spend any money on that. It's like, why not? I'll put a little bit of effort and say, those 1,000 people that still want to play it, let's give them the code so they can create their own little community, their own server, and continue playing that multiplayer game.
See, I'm all up for that. Like, if it means that you can create your own servers in the game, cool, man. Like, keep those games alive. Like, you can always get on with your friends and be like, hey, we're going to play this thing. Like, that's awesome.
Graham, Overwatch, love it. I love playing that one. I was actually doing a review of the monitor of this, and I was showing Overwatch at 144 hertz. It's great.
And the K Locker also mentioned, he hates the yearly cards, but Overwatch is way better model. So is it because Overwatch allows you to create servers within the game?
No, not at all. Overwatch just doesn't release a new version every year. They release a new character, but it's almost like a first-person shooter. Team game.
That's pretty cool then. Yeah.
It's Dota almost, but in first person.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That makes sense. That model has been repeated.
Yeah, and the only thing you pay for, you buy the game, but then you can pay for like the skins and stuff.
Yeah, that's
so that keeps the development going. It keeps the servers running. But, COD Modern Warfare, that I used to play, COD 4, we would spin up these servers left, right, and center, maybe for like just 1 month, just to have a couple of competitions. and then just like forget about it for a while. But we could always come back to it because the servers. I could spin one up on my computer right now,
Yeah.
and knowing how I can do that, I can do that. But it's just nice that we can still do that. But we can't do that with the new COD games.
No.
They're all locked down to their own servers, and there used to be a lot of communities, used to be a lot of clans that would have like, oh, this server is owned by Cool Kids Clan, and you need to be part of the Cool Kids Clan to jump in.
Yeah, that kind of
Like you'd search through all the available like multiplayer servers, and there'd be like stupid names or like
Yeah. So it creates these clubs. It's like you gotta make your way in somehow to be able to play this game and experience it with other people.
I remember there was a bit of a recruitment drive, and there was an event where you go into this like really big popular clan thing for Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
And you had to like audition to be a clan member.
Oh my god.
And I was
what
like,
did that look like?
So it was funny. So they had like 3 maps. One of the maps was, I don't know if you guys remember, was it was like a wooden house, like wooden blocks running around, little like rooms, and then on each side there was this area where you could stand and snipe each other.
Right.
But you couldn't quite see into the area in the middle, so a bit of a maze in the middle and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was there was a couple of other maps, like I think on the ship, like I can't quite remember. I think it was the ship, the first mission of Call of Duty Modern Warfare campaign. Anyway, so what they did was like, okay, everybody comes in. I think you had like 20 people, like 10 each side, and you just sort of shoot each other, and the top player would move on to a next ranking and stuff, and the thing would move, lower and lower and lower.
Yeah.
And obviously they'd look out for cheating and all that sort of stuff. But it was it was really taken seriously. Like they had like an announcement. You had to be in there. TeamSpeak, back then it was TeamSpeak instead of Discord.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, TeamSpeak, and you had to chat and be like, oh, put in your details, and do you promise never to hack, da-da-da-da-da, and what other games, and you had to give your profile name.
Wow.
And there was this anti-cheat website for Modern Warfare where you had your, obviously, username, and it actually checked if you've ever cheated. Like, it was like a cheat log.
Ah, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
See, I was actually thinking, what if some people did like something completely different, or something like just went on a tangent to be like, look, your audition is you gotta sing this song or like dance, like show us your dance moves.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then we'll accept you on.
Look, I tried to join them because they had like weekly competitions where you actually could win some prize money.
Yeah.
And I got into it, but then I never played any competitions because they had lots of members, but only the top folks got to play the competitions where there was money involved.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so like I was like,
and that makes sense because there's a lot at stake.
Yeah,
it's like you want your gang to win and go over.
You put the top people.
Yeah.
Like what we had. So I was on one match, 20 people. I won it. They were like, "Oh man, really good, really love you. We'll have you in, and we'll have you in the next competition." Never happened.
Oh,
no, it's just other people that you have the clan members, and then you have like the top ranking executives who just like.
Yeah, but if you want to win, you take the best people. It's like what?
Yeah, but they apparently had better people. But that's
did they? Oh,
but I did join a clan for Battlefield 3 and 4 for a little while, and that was really fun. Those guys were really nice. It was only like I think 30 of us, and every time we had a match, we'd all join in. I was always usually on those matches, and we did. I think it was Battlefield 3. So there was a map in a prison, and there was 2 sides, and there was this one corridor everybody had to go through, and it was just a massacre. It was such good fun. I miss those days. I miss those days where clans could set up their own servers and just game. I miss those days, man. Like nowadays, it's like,
those days are not never coming back.
No, because it's all like I was playing Modern Warfare today for the review of this monitor.
Oh yeah,
and I joined in, and I played last time too. Just joined a game, and it's like finding the perfect people and finding the best ping, and it's like, oh, I don't know these people. I never played with them. But back 5 years ago, no, hang on, shit, how old am I? Oh, 8 years ago.
Yeah. What year was it?
So I'm really going on. 8 years ago, you join in the same group of 30 people, and you just knew everyone. It was great. It was a community.
Right.
Did you ever have that?
Yeah, kind of. Like, there's communities that you get to know people over time in the gaming environment. Yeah, I remember I played Dota for a little while.
Did you?
Yeah, and I got to know some people, and then got to know like the top tier, ranks and players. And my mate actually, who started with me at the same time, like he got into one of those teams.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, like look at Hugo. like we were just experimenting one night
Yeah.
in the cybercaf, and then like a year later he was like in the championships. Like, damn, yeah.
For those following at home, Cybercaf is a New Zealand name for cyber cafe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, cyber cafe. Those were the days, man. Is this our last topic?
Yeah, I think it is actually. I think this. And
Oh wow,
oh my god, I think we're on time.
we're on time for
Wow.
once. Wow.
Guys, in the comments, let us know if you have any other topics or anything like that. We'll maybe another 5 minutes. We can just chat about some crap. But what's your plans for next week? Are you doing any game reviews or anything?
Well, I'm finishing Ghost of Tsushima. I'm probably like I can't even tell, man. I can't even tell how far. I want to say I'm halfway through.
Yeah.
But this story, the world, there's so much to do in it, and it's epic the way how it expands.
Yeah.
And the different types of enemies. Like I did some really cool missions recently.
Yeah.
Like it was called the Six Blades of
Coco.
Koji. Yeah, Cocoa Pops. Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically you verse like these Ronin, like out in the different areas of the map.
Oh, wow.
And the fights that you have are so intense, so extreme,
I
and
can't
so difficult.
I can't wait to borrow what you paid for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is your PlayStation Game Pass. It's for free.
It's Casper.
Yeah.
I did remember that there was something we were going to talk about.
There was
In the
something we were
start,
going to talk about.
Upgrading PCs.
Upgrading PCs. Oh, what was I going to say? Right. Okay. So there are people saying that now is not a time to upgrade your PC.
Don't tell me that.
Only because next gen consoles are coming, which means your games are only going to look as good as those next gen consoles, which you might as well get the next gen console if that's the case, and then upgrade your PC 2
The
or 3
following-
years after the console.
Right, because then you
Yeah.
have above the console grade.
Yeah, that's right.
That's fair.
Mm.
But wouldn't you also say that it's dependent on the person? Because if they're upgrading their already existing PC, they're already upgrading from what they have. If you have a next gen console and you buy the next gen console, that's fine. But no, not many people will go from last gen console to a next gen PC. It's just a weird switch at this time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What if that's maybe that's a good indicator to be like, hey, if next gen console is coming, that's the only time I upgrade my PC.
Wow. So every 5, well, actually,
Yeah.
hang on. We saw that it might be every 4 years.
Yeah, 5 years, for the PS5. Joe Blog says, don't upgrade now. Next GPUs are coming. But maybe
yeah.
others cheaper.
So
Yeah.
I talked a little bit about it. So what I'm going to be doing, so I'm going to be upgrading to Zen 3 because I really want to do a couple of reviews on some of the CPUs, just one because I only buy one. I want to buy the RTX 3080 or 3080.
3090.
3090.
Or whatever they call it. Yeah.
So anyway, fuck, NVIDIA just...
Well, did you hear about the stats that came out? The benchmarks of the 3090? Supposed 3090?
Okay, hang on, we're going to Google this.
Yeah. Because, and it looks quite insane.
Let me share my
We need
screen.
benchmarks. Let's see. Do we have
Is it this?
Oh no, that's old. That's June 9th. You want
Is
something?
it this one? June 19?
No, this was like
7
recent.
days ago?
Yeah, very, very recent. Maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe that's it.
Let's have a look.
Where's the benchmarks? The score was something like in the 10,000 range, basically. Oh, is this what they really look like?
Yeah,
This is like the legit pictures.
This a little while back, remember?
Oh wow,
The
that's
fans
them
are
are like
opposite sides to each other. And
Yeah,
they
yeah,
push pull.
I like.
Yeah, it's good.
very nice.
Where did you see the? Oh, look. Well, here you go. 26. Oh, that's a month ago.
Yeah, that's not the one then, because the most recent ones showed like what are those like test websites? Where
43 minutes ago. 1 day ago.
yeah, it's either one of those. That one probably where it says 50%.
Much better than RTX.
Yeah, like well, we know that it has to be to some extent. Yeah,
right, okay, yeah,
Spy.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so the score.
50%.
Yes, so
Holy shit.
because the score of the 2080 Ti is something like 7,000, whereas
let me just have a look.
that's around like times by what is the what's the score?
But it depends because there's also versions of the 2080 Ti that are like OC'd, like overclocked and upgraded.
Yeah, see, I wonder if there's the What's that edition called that you get from the Founders Edition, right?
Founders Edition,
Founders
yeah.
Edition, yeah.
So are they comparing it to Founders Edition?
I think that would be make sense, right? You compare those benchmarks.
This internet just shitting itself.
Oh,
Oh, here we go. 16,000.
but that's the score of everything. Is there like a score of just the graphics
Well,
card?
this is Time Spy with that graphics card with a high end.
Right. Because wait, hold on. So CPU score is 11,000. So does that mean it would be about 6,000 for the GPU? Oh no, wait.
No. That's not how it works. It's
never
a
mind.
total of that result. So if what we can do is just go results, and we
It's a
should just see the
different score.
top of
Yeah,
top of the
yeah.
pops.
Top
But
of the-
if we're
yeah.
looking at this and it's true, almost 10,000
10,000
points.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking. So something in there. So Video Legend scored 10,000 points. Time Spy Extreme benchmark. So it might be a different one.
Yeah,
so,
different benchmarks.
Okay, so we're gonna search for. Oh, okay. So let's go GTX 2080 Ti. Is that gonna come up? Oh, here we go. Popular hardware. Let's have a look at that.
Most
one.
popular GPU.
Okay, this is again. We're going off tangent.
Yeah.
It's
Tangent.
loading slowly.
Wow, your internet, man. It's the NBM. They're onto you. They're like, he's talking smack about us with the slowest internet.
The time when I really need it.
Yeah.
Reference around 600. Okay, it's extreme. So it's extreme. So
Oh, yeah.
2080 gets 6,300.
6,300.
And
Yeah.
then the new one gets
Gets about
9,000.
9,450, which is 50%. Dude, that's
Yeah.
massive. Can you imagine that? Your frame's going from like 100 to 150.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But I can seem to filter out. Maybe I go benchmarks and buy benchmark and filter.
So this will be the ultimate 4K gaming card.
Okay, hang on. What's 50% though?
50% is huge. It's colossal.
Well, hang on. If I'm getting 100 frames, 50% is only 150 frames.
Yeah, that's huge. You know, generally it's like, oh, I'm getting 45 frames, but this graphics card is getting me 60, 65 frames. But the fact is, like, if you could go from 40 frames to like a steady 60 plus, that's pretty massive.
When the RTX lineup came up, I did a video. It was highly disliked, like super disliked.
Yeah, the RTX.
Yeah, and I said
Yeah.
RTX is only going to be 20 to 30% faster. And as soon as you turn on RTX, it's not going to be faster than.
Yeah.
And people were like, nah, bullshit. You're an idiot. And I was like, no. It's not. Like, look at the benchmarks. Like, these were leaked benchmarks.
Yeah.
And I was like, that actually seems quite realistic because the previous generation was also 20 to 30%.
Yeah.
It turned out to be lower. It was like 20%, not 30. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
that's the reality. Because AMD was not competing, NVIDIA had no competition and didn't want to build anything better.
Yeah, see, like 50% is huge.
Yeah.
50%, I think, because we're not used to it. It's always 20, 30, 20, 30 from gen to gen to gen. And if we get 50, that's colossal, man.
Well, I'm going to be going from a 1080 Ti to a 3000.
So for you, that's going to be like 200%.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Insane.
So that
Yeah.
monitor that I was talking about, the Odyssey 9, I can't even do more than 120 frames on this card.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the 1080 Ti will not allow me to do it because it's got an old spec
Yeah,
of
I mean...
DP cable of the display port, so
Oh,
I wouldn't
of
even
course,
be able to do
that
it.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's been very interesting talks about frames and resolution are no longer the key factors.
Oh, absolutely. The RTX generation is what's showing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what is important is the things that they will do with the polygons. That's some of the key things.
You reckon?
Yeah, I've heard chats about this, about guys who are like in the industry, and they're talking about like how actually steady 30 FPS will make insanely good looking games. And the frame rates won't matter as much because of the things that they'll be able to do with it.
Are you saying that? Well, I don't know. Can you can't really get beyond 30 frames. Like it's 30 frames, and no matter how pretty the images look and how much distracting effects you have, it's still 30 frames.
Yes.
Shouldn't they be aiming for 60 at least?
I think, yeah, 60, there's a smoothness to 60.
Yes, there is. Yeah. I don't mean
But then
120.
with 30, you have like a cinematic feel with 30 that you don't with 60. Like,
Yeah, but
when you watch people, like when you watch a movie, like you can't watch a movie with 60 FPS because it looks weird, man.
Hobbit was filmed at 48 frames.
Oh, is that because of all the CGI stuff?
No, they've got a version called 48, and apparently when they played it in some special cinemas,
Yeah.
which is high HFR, so high frame rate,
Yeah.
people were like getting super sick.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like it's
They're
just
not used to it. They're not used to watching 48 framed.
yeah. So
Like I was,
high frame, like watching people, it just looks really weird.
Yeah.
Is it
It's
because
realistic.
the human eye can't understand it because
so the human eye adds its own motion blur on things, but we don't see in frame rates.
yeah, no,
It's not
like
30
Patrick,
frames.
you're too FPS today, bro.
We don't see in frame rates. We see more along the lines of
Yeah.
fluid movement, and we add motion blur, but we can also then look at something that's moving fast.
Yeah.
and bring it into focus.
Maybe that's why like certain 30 FPS games are gonna get to that stage where it's like it actually doesn't need any more frames.
Oh, I still think it needs more frames.
Yeah,
No, I'm not.
the frame gang.
I think 60 is the minimum.
I think 60 is probably optimal,
Okay.
but I don't think you don't need any more than 60.
Halo is going to be 120. What do you say to that?
I think it's not necessary.
Off of.
I think 60 is the epitome. It's
Okay.
like you get there and then it's like, what else do you need?
Let us know in chat if you'd like a video of Casper trying to tell the difference between 30 frames, 60, 90, and 144. I don't know why I said 90.
90 is random.
I know, but that's,
Yeah.
we can do a little test. I've got a
Right.
monitor that can go up to 140. Actually, when we get the new monitor, we'll do a
Oh,
video
yes.
about that.
You're a beast.
We can do 30, 60, 100, 144, 200, and 240. And you can then tell me which one you prefer.
Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds good. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what my...
But I won't tell you which one's which.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
do it
yeah.
randomly. I'll make you like
Absolutely.
walk away while I change it.
Yeah, and I'll be able to feel out which one's which.
And we'll do two
Okay.
things. We'll do Tomb Raider, which is more of an action game,
Yeah.
which you don't necessarily need high frame rates.
Okay. Yeah, do one where it's like a cinematic feel and do
Yeah.
one where it's obviously you need the high frame rates to feel it. Like
Yeah.
a Doom or something like that.
Doom on 144 hertz is amazing.
Yeah, I'll bet.
All right, friends. I think that's it. I think we're just really going off a tangent now. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the State of the Beans.
Talk.
Talk. You know,
That's the name of the show.
where can we find you, Casper?
Game with Casper.
I'm going to try and find the link while you
Yes.
just talk about it.
It's just Game with Casper, guys. I'm finishing Ghost of Tsushima. All you will see at the moment is just gameplay of it, just me playing the game. Well, actually, not even me, but just playing the game.
It's not me playing the
It's
game.
me, yeah,
It's
Tom.
the AI.
Yeah. What a twist! Straight after that, I will conduct a review of the game. So I'll do something along the lines of what I did of The Last of Us Part 2 on my channel. And then after that, well, I guess that's uncharted territory, but I've got something lined up. Something special. So looking forward to seeing you guys on there. God bless.
God bless.
Take care. Yeah, keep Keep the FPS frames high and your temps cool.
Oh, you didn't talk about Gaben.
Oh, Gavin. We were going to talk about Gavin. Gavin. Is it Gavin?
It's Gaben, I'm pretty sure.
It's Gavin. Gavin. Yeah. So the fact that when he was asked the question, hey, so for next gen, which console would you like, the PS5 or the Xbox One X? And he's like, Xbox One X, hands down. He didn't even hesitate.
And
like
we're just
straight up.
talking about this place called the Italian...
Gavin, the Italian band.
Italian band.
So these guys, yeah, they're all about the Xbox.
Welcome to the after show. We're talking about Gaben, the Italian band. No, we're talking about
Gene Gavin,
hang on,
the French
Gaben
actor
Steen.
from 1976.
Oh, no, it's not Gaben, it's Gabe Newell.
Gavin.
Damn it.
You're sorry,
horrible.
guys. Yeah, I'm horrible.
Yeah, so he's stuck in New Zealand. He did an event for all New Zealanders to
Yes.
thank them for having them as having him.
See, Half-Life 3 confirmed. See, that's why he saw the thing coming, and he's like, oh, I'm going.
He looks like he should be in the Lord of the Rings at the moment.
Or like Santa Claus. He looks
Yeah.
like he's the gaming Santa Claus.
I really respect him, but was shocked when he goes, yeah, Xbox is better. I was like,
I think
what's your reasoning? Tell me more. Like, I want to know.
because it's more powerful. I think that would make sense.
Well, that's what
maybe,
he said. Yeah.
Maybe because I think he sees the vision of Phil Spencer and his team, and I think
How many chess moves ahead is he?
he's probably a few chess moves ahead. And I think because him running Valve,
Yeah.
he knows what Phil's doing, and he's like, I see you, I know what you're doing. And so he's feeling the vibes. He's like, yes, I would choose Xbox because the future is strong here.
Well, their future includes the PC, so that
Exactly.
includes him.
Probably, yeah. Because for his investors, like, he needed to say that as well to keep the money high and the FPS high.
And on that bombshell, friends, thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in another episode of the State of the Beans talk. Yes, thank you. Yeah, you did it. Nailed it.
Yeah.
If you like this show, make sure you're subscribed. If you'd like to see more, make sure you're subscribed. And if you're subscribed, make sure you're subscribed.
Keep subscribing.
And like this video if you did like it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that also helps in the scheme of things on YouTube. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. We'll end the stream there. Catch you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And bye.
Yeah, bye.